Hi guys, welcome to yoga with me, Louise. Hope we're all well. I'm just going to change the lighting in the room because it's shining a little bit too much from the middle light. So I'll just wait for a couple of minutes to see if anyone is going to join me live, but I know they're probably not because nobody wants to be up at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. So as always guys, if you've got a yoga block, you might want it to modify some of the postures, or if you haven't got a block, you might want to grab just a cushion off your sofa, or a rolled up towel, or a hoodie, or whatever you've got. All right, so I hope we're all well this morning, or whenever you're doing this class on demand. Working at your own level throughout. If you've got any injuries, or if you're returning back to exercise after any injuries, obviously take it easy and be careful, especially because I can't see you. All right, so I trust that you know your own body and that you're going to listen to your body and modify any of the postures if you need to. All right, so let's get going. If you are pregnant, it's probably advisable to let the instructor know before you're doing their class, because obviously we can't see you, but just so we can offer you some modifications and options as we go through. So it's easier if you let us know beforehand, before you do the class. All right, okay, let's get going. So let's start with our feet hip width apart. We're going to have our mats long ways like this if you're using a mat. You don't have to use a mat, it's entirely up to you. So middle toes forwards, lifting up tall through the crown of the head and sliding the shoulders away from the ears, drawing the abdominals in. Just make sure you're in a neutral spine. So if I turn from the side, you're not overarching your back, but you're also not tilting your pelvis underneath, okay? So you're just in a natural position with the pelvis and the spine is nice and tall. Eye gaze directly forwards into the distance, squeezing the shoulder blades together to keep the chest open, draw the belly button in. All right, we're just gonna breathe in as we reach all the way up, arms overhead, and breathe out. So we're breathing in and out through the nose, guys. So inhale to rise and exhale to come down. 2 more. Inhale to rise, exhale to come down. 1 more time. All right, both arms rise to prayer position. Inhale, and as you exhale, just slide the shoulders away from the ears. Stay here. Inhale, reach higher. And as you exhale, just ground your feet to the earth like footsteps in the snow. We're going to side bend over to the left as you inhale. As you exhale, drop the bottom arm and let the eye gaze fall down to the bottom hand. Let's do other side. Inhale up, exhale over. Deep breath in, and as you breathe out, drop the bottom hand, bottom arm, and release. All right, inhale to rise all the way up, and as we exhale, come forwards into a forward fold. So soften your knees slightly, fingertips to the floor, and just let your head and neck fully relax. Just shake your head gently from side to side, and if you can, hold on to your elbows and gently swing the body side to side like a pendulum. This is ragdoll pose. I've got a cold this morning, but when I tip forwards, I can't breathe, but never mind. All right, from here, hands to the floor, about shoulder width apart. For some people, they might want to go slightly wider, and then step back into a downward facing dog. So feet are hip width apart, hands shoulder width or possibly slightly wider. And then we're just gently breathing, tucking the chin, sliding the shoulders away from the ears and spreading your fingers. So middle fingers are forwards, and then try and spiral your elbows inwards, just so you're activating the power through your arms and your upper back. All right guys, drop the knees down and sit back into child's pose. So bottoms to the heels, toes together, but knees apart. If you're pregnant, definitely have your knees apart to make space for the baby. Reaching forward with the arms. And we're just going to stay here and breathe for a few moments. I want you to activate the power through your arms again. So rather than letting the elbows just drop down,
Try and lift the elbows off the floor and energize right through to the fingertips. All right, pushing back up onto your hands and knees. Bringing the knees onto the hips, hands under the shoulders, and let's take a cat stretch. So I'll just turn to the corner so you can see me. Breathe in. As you breathe out, tuck the chin, curl the spine up. Inhale, flat back center, and opposite way. Exhale as we arch into a gentle cow stretch. Inhale, center, and again. Exhale to come to cat stretch. Tuck the chin, lift the spine. Inhale, flat back center, and exhale to arch. And inhale, center, drawing the abdominals in. All right, we're going to come into a kneeling single leg bow pose. So breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to reach right arm forwards and left leg back. From there, you're going to bend the back knee and reach round for the foot. So I'll just come back to the corner so you can see me actually. Now flex that back foot if you can. Push the foot high. Squeeze through your buttocks. If you can't reach the foot, just go for that general direction. Or grab your leggings or your trousers, whatever you can reach. Nice deep breaths. Reaching and releasing. Let's change sides. So opposite arm to leg. Inhale to reach. Exhale as you come round, reach behind. Flex the foot and push the foot up to the sky if you can. So I'm actually feeling a bit of a stretch through my shoulder and chest as I'm reaching round for my foot as well. Taught lots of body pump this week, so my shoulders and chest might be a little bit tight. Squeezing through the bottom and pushing the foot up to the sky. As you inhale, reach out, and exhale to release. Sit back and stretch again into your child's pose. You can either have your hands forwards, or if you prefer, you might want to have your hands back and turn your cheek to the side, your choice. All right, we're going to warm up through the back and come into a striking cobra now. We're going to start with baby cobra. So take the hands a little bit wider now, wider than shoulder width. Use the energy in the hands and the upper body. So we're going to lift the eye gaze, inhale. As you exhale, chin skims just above the mat. We're just going to come into baby cobra to begin with. So just lifting halfway, long neck, long spine. Hands under the shoulders, sit back and stretch. Now you can either do baby cobra again, or if you're starting to feel a bit warmer, you can press a little bit higher onto the hands. So lift the eye gaze, inhale, prepare. Exhale to strike. Then lift, shoulders away from the ears, and sit back and stretch. Inhale. Exhale, so we're just warming up, power through the upper body, and also strength and flexibility through the back. Sit back and stretch. Show you from the corner if you're not sure, just so you can see my body alignment. So as you come forwards, the chin is skimming just above the floor, just above the surface. Sliding the shoulders away from the ears. Sit back and stretch. One more. We're not going to do the advanced option on the feet yet because we're not quite warm yet. Sit back and stretch. All right, pressing up onto the knees, we're going to come into a kneeling lunge. So step your right foot between the hands. If you need to use your hand to pick it up, that's okay. Now drop the hips forwards and lift through the chest. We're going to inhale as we rise, so back knee on the floor for this one. And as you exhale, surrender the shoulders away from the ears and try and lift your eye gaze up towards the fingers. And release, bring the hands to the floor. We're going to tuck the toes and step back to downward dog. I want you to just pedal through your dog, so alternate heels pushing down. Just show you from the corner if you're not sure, just so you can see the body alignment. That's hard to watch while you're also practicing. All right, both heels push down. We're going to do opposite leg. Bend the knees, look forwards. Step your left foot between the hands. Drop the back knee. And rising up. Inhale and exhale as you shift the hips forwards. I'll come back to finish you guys again, but you don't need to move. So make sure your knee is directly over the ankle. So if your foot is too close, you're going to get a lot of pressure on your knee joint. Yeah, I'll show you what that looks like. So you're going to shuffle your toes forward. So knee is directly over the ankle. Can you see that? Hands to the floor, step back into downward dog. Let's walk through the dog again. And then when you're ready, press both heels down, tuck the chin, eye gaze towards the belly button. Then the knees look forward. This time we're going to step our right foot around the outside of the hand rather than in between. Okay? You're going to try and lift your back knee off and keep the back leg straight if possible. If not, you can always drop your knee down. We're going to twist towards the right. So you might need to adjust your opposite hand to come closer to the foot. And then reaching and rotating. Stay where you are. I'm just going to turn to the corner again so you can see my body alignment. So I've got my back leg lifted, but the option is to drop your back knee down if you need to. You're going to go straight into the other side. So hand down, step back to downward dog, and let's step the left foot around the outside of the left hand. Twisting towards the left, adjusting the opposite hand if you need to, and then you stack those shoulders one on top of the other. Option to drop your back knee down if you need to. And release. Step back to downward dog. Hope I'm not confusing you by keeping turning, but just so you can see where the body needs to be. All right, bend your knees and look forwards, and take little baby steps all the way forwards into a forward fold. Feet hip width apart, or feet together if you prefer. Just relax the head and neck. All right, bend the knees. Inhale to rise. And exhale. Take the hands to the lower back. Inhale to lift through the chest. Exhale to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Push the hips forward. Squeeze the glutes. Take a little baby back bend. And release. Shake out. Hopefully you're nice and warm. So grab yourself a little drink of water. I'm going to move into a sun salutation now. Okay, you can say straight onto the camera if that feels good for you. Depends on how your room is laid out and where you've got space. So if you do need to change your mat, feel free to do so. I'm just going to angle mine slightly, just to the corner so that you can see, hopefully see my body alignment and where I'm stepping back to. I hope that doesn't confuse you too much. So you guys can say straight on if that's okay with you. So step to the front narrow end of your mat. Either feet together into mountain pose. Anybody who's pregnant or if you've got lower back problems, separate your feet hip width apart for a more stable base. So I like to have my feet slightly apart, just a preference, it's up to you. Eye gaze forwards, drawing in the abdominals. Let's start to focus and concentrate on mine now. So inhale to rise to extended mountain pose. Exhale, so we swan dive forwards into forward fold. Bend your knees and lift through the belly. Breathe in, hands to the shins, flat back extension to lengthen spine. Exhale to fold. All right, you're going to step back into downward dog. Doesn't matter which foot goes first. Hands shoulder width or maybe slightly wider, feet hip width. From here, roll through the spine into a high plank. For the first one, we're just going to drop our knees and lower down into a chaturanga position, elbows tucked in. Just for the first one, we're just going to lift halfway to baby cobra. Long neck, eye gaze down towards the front end of your mat. Hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes. And exhale as you lift to downward facing dog. All right, bend the knees and look forwards. We're going to come back to that kneeling lunge. So step your right foot between the hands. If you need to use your hand to help, to shift it forward, you can. You're trying to get that front heel down to the floor. Drop the back knee, inhale to rise, and exhale as you come into a kneeling yoga lunge. Hands back to the floor, either side of the foot, tuck the toes, exhale to downward dog. Bend the knees and look forwards, and take little baby steps all the way forwards into your forward fold, either feet slightly apart or feet hip width. Hands to the shins, inhale, flat back extension, exhale and fold. Bend the knees, inhale, rising all the way up, now squeeze your bottom to baby back bend. and exhale to release. Let's go again, other side. Inhale to rise. Exhale to forward fold. Nose to knees, lift the belly. Inhale, flat back extension, lift the chest. And exhale to fold. Now either step back or jump into downward dog. If you're jumping, brace your core and land carefully. Roll through the spine as you inhale to high plank. Now either on the toes or the knees, lower down to chaturanga. Body weight comes slightly further forwards, elbows tuck in. Coming into cobra, or if you want more, lift your hips to upward dog. Tuck in the toes, exhale to downward dog. Bend your knees, look forwards. This time your left foot steps between the hands. Ground the front heel. Either drop the knee, or if you want to work a little harder, you can keep that back leg straight, rising all the way up. Hands come back down, step back into downward dog. Bend the knees, look forwards, either baby steps forwards or jump, landing with your feet close towards your hands, forward fold. Inhale, flat back extension, exhale and fold. Breathing in, rising all the way up, squeeze into baby back bend. And exhale to release. We're going to go twice more, a little bit faster. I'm just going to come front onto you guys now. Okay, exactly the same. So when you're ready, into your mountain pose or feet slightly apart. Inhale to rise. Exhale as you forward fold, nose to knees, lift the belly. Inhale, flat back extension. And exhale to fold. Step or jump into downward dog, landing gracefully. Spread the fingers, roll through the spine, articulate through the vertebrae, knees or toes, coming into chaturanga, body weight forwards. Arch up and shine to cobra or upward dog if you want to lift the hips. Tuck the toes, exhale to downward dog. Bend your knees, look forward, step your right foot between the hands, heel down, either back knee down or back leg straight. Inhale to rise, exhale as you drop into that front knee. Hands to the floor, step back to downward dog. Bend your knees, either jump forwards or little baby steps forwards into forward fold. Inhale, flat back extension with the chest. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees more. Inhale to rise. And exhale, come back to mountain pose. Last time, guys. Inhale to rise. Exhale to forward fold. Breathe in, flat back extension. How long can you make your spine? Exhale and fold, lay your chest closer to the thighs. Step or jump into downward dog, locking through your core muscles. Articulate through the spine as you inhale to high plank. Exhale as you come down to chaturanga, body weight forwards. Cobra or up dog, tuck the toes, exhale down dog. Bend your knees, look forward, your left foot steps between the hands. Use your hand to help if you need to. Back leg straight or knee down. Inhale to lift. Exhale as you drop forwards and slide the shoulders down. Hands to the floor, step back to downward dog. Bend your knees, either baby steps or jump forwards. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back extension. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, inhale to rise. And exhale, come back to the center. All right, shake out. My yoga mat is disintegrating, I'm sure. It's from spraying with the antibacterial spray, because it's got alcohol content in it. I'm sure it's making my mat disintegrate. Never mind. Okay. Hopefully we're nice and warm. It's roasting in my house because the heating is on full blast because it's such a cold day. All right, so we're going to go into a strength sequence now. So when you're ready, feet together, mountain pose. Squeeze up through the inner thighs. We're going to start with chair pose. So breathe in, lift through the arms. As you breathe out, we're going to take a seat like you're sitting back on a chair. Now arms can either be separated or you can have your hands together in prayer, whatever feels good for you. So if I show you from the side, You're sitting back, like you're sitting on a chair, but just be mindful, guys, that you're not arching your back. So use your core strength and squeeze up through the midline of the body. So ankles, inner thighs, knees. Inhale. As we exhale, let's sit a little bit deeper. All right, inhale to rise and exhale to release. All right, I'm going to step our right leg back now. Now from here, sorry, your right leg, my left. I've got my camera on the mirror, I've just remembered today. I managed to flip the camera. So when you're ready, you're going to turn that back heel down to 45 degrees. So hips are square to the front. And if you can see my back foot, it's facing that 45-degree angle. So if I show you from the side, you're here, okay? Not quite as turned out as it would be if you were doing a warrior 2. This is warrior 1. So inhale to rise, hands come together in prayer, and exhale as you sink into your warrior 1. Squaring the shoulders, squaring the hips. All right, something a little bit different today. We're gonna add a tricep stretch. So same arm as front leg. We're gonna take a little tricep stretch, chin off the chest. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, we're just gonna hinge that body forwards into a diagonal line, pressing that back little toe down to the floor. Okay, rising back up, reaching the arms overhead. We're going to shift into warrior 3. So breathe in. As we breathe out, transfer the weight into the front leg, sweep the arms back. Now, lifting the back toes off the floor when you're ready, squaring the body, sinking down into that supporting leg. When you're ready, circling the arms, painting 2 semicircles, one with each fingertip, and reaching arms overhead. And release, standing all the way up, mountain pose. All right, let's repeat on the opposite side. So step your other foot back now, turning the back leg out and planting that heel down to a 45-degree angle. Now the hips will want to open, but don't let that happen. Square the hips to the front knee pushes out. Okay, we inhale to rise, hands come to prayer position, and exhale to sink into that front leg, pressing the back little toe down to the floor, squaring the hips, squaring the shoulders. From here, we're going to come into tricep stretch. So same arm as front leg, lift up, gently easing it back, feeling that stretch through the back of the arms, sinking into the front knee. Rising up with the arms. When you're ready, shift the body weight forwards, sweep the arms back, transfer the weight into that front leg. Now lifting the back leg, everything stays square. So try not to have any rotation in the body. Sink into that standing leg to help with balance and stability. Sweeping the arms overhead, painting those semicircles, squeezing the back leg high to engage through the glutes. Couple more breaths. And when you're ready, rising up. All right, shake out. Nice work. So we're going to come back into our mountain pose again. Inhale to rise to extended mountain pose. And this time we're going to exhale and forward fold, like we did earlier for our sun salutation. All right, step your right leg back, everybody. And we're going to come back into that warrior 1 position with the feet. So turn the back foot out again to that 45-degree angle and rising up. All right, hands to the hips. I want you to pull your hips around so they're square to the front. You probably feel your hips want to open. So square the hips to the front. All right, from here, we're going to come into pyramid pose. So I want you to try and straighten your front leg as much as possible. All right, we're going to come in stages. So I want you to hinge your body forwards. If you need to bend your front knee slightly, you can. Fingertips towards the floor now, and bring your nose towards your knee. So curve the spine, curve the upper body. So you're trying to get a C shape through the spine and bring the nose actually to the knee. If you need to keep your hands either side of the foot for balance, that's okay. If you want more, bring your hands together in prayer position and extend the arms in front of the toe. So we're aiming to try and square our hips as much as possible. There will be a little bit of rotation. you're struggling to balance, just place your hands either side of the foot. Two more breaths. All right, hands to the floor, turn the back toes under into a lunge, step back into downward dog. Coming into a little flow sequence like a sun salutation, so roll through the spine into high plank, knees or toes, lower down to chaturanga, cobra or up dog, shoulders away from the ears, tuck the toes, and exhale to down dog. All right, bend your knees. This time, step your right foot forwards. Turning the back leg out, heel down to the floor, into that warrior one position with the feet. Rising up. Okay, we're going to come into the same position on the other side now, same posture. So we're going to put our hands to our hips, square the hips to the front, make sure there's no rotation through the body. Back foot facing that 45-degree angle. All right, from here, we're going to hinge the body forwards. And if you've got tight hamstrings, you'll probably feel that you need to bend your front knee. That's okay. So start to bring the body weight forwards, nose towards knees, hands either side of your foot. So try and really curl the spine, tuck the chin. And if you want a little bit more, bring the hands in prayer position in front of the toes. Stay here for about another 4 more breaths. And if you're finding this difficult to balance, don't worry, it is pretty challenging. When you're ready, hands to the floor, turn the back toes under again, step back into downward facing dog, roll through the spine into plank, knees or toes, lower to chaturanga, cobra or up dog, tuck the toes, exhale down dog. Bend your knees looking forwards, either baby steps or jump forwards, landing with the feet close to the hands. Bend the knees, inhale to rise, and exhale to release. All right, shake out, grab yourself a little sip of water. I'm just going to come on the diagonal just so you can see me. Okay. Step to the front of your mat, mountain pose. Inhale to rise. As we exhale, forward fold, nose to knees. Step back into downward dog now. And let's just really think about this posture. So middle fingers forward, spiral the elbows in, tuck the chin, energize through both the hands and the feet. All right, bend the knees and look forwards. So you're gonna step your right foot around the outside of the hand, like we did earlier. You can either drop the back knee or you can have the back leg straight. I'm going to take a twist now, a little bit different this time. So I want you to take your right hand on your right thigh, okay? So you're rotating the body to the side. You might need to adjust your other hand just to allow yourself more leverage to rotate more. So if you need to drop the back knee, it's absolutely okay. Actually going to come all the way around so you can see me, but you guys don't need to move. It's quite hard when I've just got a small camera and you're trying to see me. So either back knee down or back knee up. If this is enough for you, stay here. If you want more today, we're going to come into prayer position. So your back elbow is going to come across, hook the elbow in, hands together in prayer, and then rotate through the chest, opening towards the side as much as possible. If you want more, opening the arms out. If you don't like this, just stay with the hand on the thigh. Your choice. And release, hands to the floor, step back into downward dog. Just walking through your dog. We're going to repeat that on the other side now. Press both heels down when you're ready. Body weight even between the hands and the feet. All right, bend your knees. Your opposite leg this time is going to step around the outside of the hand. Either back knee down or back knee straight. Take the hand to the thigh and adjust your opposite hand if you need to, so you're rotating that body. So guys, if your front arm, you're here now, okay? I'm going to come around this way. You don't need to move. I hope this isn't confusing you, me turning around, but I'm just trying to do it so you can see me. Okay, if you want more, hooking the back elbow across the front knee, hands to prayer, and then use that leverage of the elbow to press and rotate through the chest. Option to drop the knee if you find that you're wobbling. If you want more, opening the arms. Two more breaths. And release. Hands to the floor, step back to downward dog, and just walk through your dog. Alright, coming into a little bit of core work, but before we do, let's just take a nice little child's pose. So drop the knees to the floor and sit back and stretch. I'm just going to stay facing sideways so you can see me, but you can stay exactly where you are. Alright, a little bit of core work. So pressing up onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes and then come into a plank. So you can either come into a high plank on the toes or on the knee, but keep your toes tucked under at the back. You'll see why in a moment. We're going to inhale as we do a double pulse back into a crouch and exhale as we come forwards into plank. Now if you've got wrist problems, you may need to do the same thing on your knuckles or come into a hover on the elbows instead. It's the thing with yoga, it's a lot of work on the wrists. So if you are suffering because it's a lot of work and it's towards the end of the class now, just drop back down onto the elbows if you prefer. So make sure when you're doing this, you shift the body weight as far forward as you can. So in fact, shoulders aren't really over wrists, they're actually probably over your knuckles, okay? Over the middle of the hand when you shift forwards. So your option is on the knees, but keep the toes tucked under, like so. Shifting that body weight forwards. Advanced option, we've got 4 more. If you want to, lift one leg straight off the floor. Lower down. Inhale to pulse back, exhale to shift forwards. Keep drawing the belly button in towards the spine, keeping that back nice and long. And release. Drop the knees, sit back and stretch, reaching the fingertips forwards. Alright, a little bit more core work. So coming back onto the hands and knees now, into horse stance, tabletop position. Alright, from here, you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to reach left arm forwards, right leg back, so opposite arm to leg. From here, you're going to open the arm and leg to make a diagonal line. Inhale, center. And again, I'll show you from the front. So you're exhaling to open. Inhale, center. And again, we'll do 6 on each side. This is my 3rd one. So engaging right through the obliques, through the back of the body, the posterior chain. Exhale to open, inhale to center. And release, other side. So extending out, inhale, prepare. Exhale to open, inhale, center. This is our pointer sequence. 6 altogether. Exhale to open. Try just to open the arm and leg, keep the shoulders still. And release, sit back and stretch. Alright, rolling all the way up, flip yourself onto your bottom now. Now if you want to grab your block or your cushion or your towel, you might want to sit on top of it, it's up to you. Soles of the feet together, seated star pose, we're just going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, roll your nose towards your toes. If you you want a little bit more, reach your fingertips forwards or not. Slowly rolling up. All right, coming into a modified half lotus now. You might want to stay seated on your block or your cushion, it's up to you. So you're going to tuck your left leg in, pick up your right foot, flex the foot so the ankle's strong, and cross it over and open that knee. If you can't manage to get into a modified half lotus, don't worry. Just bring the foot in front and cross that leg as if you're just sitting with the legs crossed, like kids would do in assembly at school. So open the knees, both sides of the bottom, so both sit bones anchored firmly, and then just squeeze your shoulder blades together to open the chest. All right, if you want to, bring the arms forward like we just did earlier, or just keep your hands behind and body upright, your choice. And try and drop the bottom on the floor behind you so you're not letting it lift. If you want a little bit more, walking your arms diagonally over your right leg and then relax down. So depending on where you're tight, you might feel more of a stretch through your hips, might be more through your bottom, might be both. Slowly rolling up to center. And let's repeat on the other side. So when you're ready, switching legs. Flex the foot, ankle strong, crossing it over, opening the knee and anchor your sit bones firmly. Option just to cross that leg in front, your choice. So you can either stay upright or if you want more, bring the hands in front and start to walk the body forwards, grounding the bottom on the floor behind you. Use your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. And if you want to, walk the hands diagonally over your left knee and then reach the body forwards on the diagonal. Slowly coming all the way up and lie yourself down onto your backs. So we're going to come into bridge pose. Feet hip width apart and walk the heels close towards the bottom. You're going to breathe in to prepare, and as you breathe out, tilt the pelvis, start to roll up through the spine. Now if you can, clasp your hands together underneath and then walk yourself up high, squeezing your shoulder blades together and then push your hips up. Nice deep breaths. Press down through the heels. Now, if this is enough for you, stay here. If you want more, and probably only have a go at this if you've done this in a live class with an instructor that's there, we're going to come into a back bend. If you don't like it, just stay here where you are. So you're going to bring your hands under your shoulders. Inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to press up into your back bend, squeezing through your bottom, pushing the hips high. Two more breaths. And then to come down, gently tuck the chin, rolling through the spine. Bring the knees into the chest, so roll down even if you're in your bridge pose or your full back bend. And take a gentle rock side to side. Just lift your head and shoulders off the floor, nose towards knees. And release. Coming into waterfall pose, extending the legs up, flexing the feet, and open the arms out to the side. Pressing the heels up to the ceiling. If you've got quite tight hamstrings, you may need to bend your knees slightly. Now I want you to imagine you can feel the water from that waterfall trickling down past your heels, past your ankles, down the backs of the legs, into the back,
Leaving those legs feeling long, elongated, extended. 2 more breaths here. And release, bring the knees in. Opening the knees, soles of the feet together, coming into extended butterfly pose. So let the knees just fall open like the pages of a book in the center fold, just dropping open. Reaching the arms overhead, hold on to your elbows, tuck your chin down to the chest. And just breathe through the back of the body. Breathing into the rib cage. Alright, let's move into our Savasana relaxation and meditation to finish our class now. So if you're comfortable where you are, you can stay here, or you can adjust yourself into corpse pose. I'm just checking I'm not going to hit my sofa. So you might want to extend your legs, let the feet roll out naturally, and palms up to the ceiling with the arms by the sides slightly open. Anybody who's got a tender lower back, you may prefer to bend your knees with your feet on the floor and let the knees just roll inwards. You may prefer to roll onto your side, or to come into a child's pose, or even to sit with your back leaning against a sofa or a wall. If you're a bit chilly, just grab yourself a jumper or a pair of socks or a blanket, whatever you've got, and just make yourself as warm and comfortable as you can. So just closing your eyes. The Savasana at the end of a yoga class, and sometimes we do it at the beginning of a yoga class. It's an integral part of the class and for our practice. It's time for yourself to allow your mind and body to come together. Time to create some equilibrium, so some equalness and balance through both sides of the body. Time to ground ourselves and bring our breath to the forefront and to the focal point. So because we're static and there's no movement, we're just focusing on that breath. And just allow that breath to become slow and deep. You may choose to zone into the rhythm of the music, or you may just choose to switch off from everything and just allow your mind to wander. Whatever works for you. Just check in with the muscles in the neck and the shoulder area where we tend to hold a lot of tension. So allow that tension to just drain away. Also just check the muscles in the face. We tend to hold tension in our forehead when we frown. We also tend to lock our jaw when we're stressed or we've got any anxiety. So just check that your jaw isn't locked and your mouth just falls softly open. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nose. When you're ready, start to bring your awareness back to your breathing again. And then gently start to bring some movement back into the body. Start by just wiggling the fingers and toes. Maybe start to circle your wrists and your ankles if it feels good, those directions. And then do what feels good for your body. So you might want to take a full body stretch and reach out tall, lying along the floor. Or you might want to bring your knees straight into the chest, give them a hug, and take a gentle rock side to side. If you're on your knees, just stay where you are, or if you're seated. Take your time, try not to do any sudden movements. But when you're ready, just roll yourself onto one side of your body if you're not already on your side, or on your knees, or on your bottom. Open your eyes, and then gently push yourself up to a seated position. Again, you might want to sit on your block or your cushion or whatever you've got handy, it's up to you. And just open the palms up to the sky. Just going to stretch our neck to finish, so breathe in. As you breathe out, just drop the ear over to the shoulder and feel the length down through the neck, down through the arm. Inhale to lift, and opposite side, exhale over. And lift. This time, chin to the chest as you exhale. Inhale, center. And exhale as you lift up and over a little rainbow, so you're not collapsing in the back of the neck. And center. Let's breathe. Inhale, fingertips rise. Hands to prayer position. And exhale, hands to the heart. One more time. Inhale to rise. And exhale. Take a little bow. Namaste. Nice. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know nobody's joined me live, but hopefully somebody will do it on catch up. Have a great weekend and a great week, and I will see you soon. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.